Hey there, everybody. Welcome to our review of NCIS Season 19, Episode 9. This is the final episode of 2021, guys. We are here. I refuse to call this a fall finale or a winter finale or any finale because it did not have like, any finality to it at all.
Yeah, we're gonna get into this episode a little bit. I mean, there's some stuff to talk about, but there's really not a lot. For it feeling or being a fall finale, that
Yeah.
feeling just wasn't there. There was no, like, it wasn't a Christmas episode. We're gonna sort of talk a little bit about that and the season so far, a little bit about the episode, and sort of the lack of getting to know Jessica Knight, even though, we had, like, it was so
Yeah.
small. We need to know more about her.
Before we get into any of this, though, of course, hit that subscribe button because we are in the midst of covering all sorts of great stuff here at the channel. We just had a very eventful Sunday with Dexter New Blood, Power Book 2 Ghost, Succession, which the finale of that is happening very,
Ooh,
very
boy.
soon.
Yeah, that is a great show. If you guys
Yeah.
are looking for something new to check out, you are not watching it. This show is so good.
Yeah, it is absolutely well worth your time. You can watch it, come back, watch us talk all about it. We
Yeah.
have a lot of fun, and also check out our Instagram at Matt and Jess TV because we will have a lot of fun stuff there as we get further into the holiday season.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I bought some new cookie cutters, cats and dogs.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
gonna do Christmas cats and dogs this year, just in
That's
case you
right.
didn't know that.
I didn't really know that. I had
Yeah.
hoped. I thought it could be possible. It could be a Christmas miracle, but it doesn't
Yep.
even have to be a miracle because it's happening.
Yep, and next weekend I'm also going to I'm Guyanese for those of you who don't know, and one of the things that we do in my family is we make something called Guyanese black cake. It's a Christmas cake. It's also a wedding cake. You put icing on it for the weddings and no icing for the Christmases. I've been soaking my fruits since September, so that's coming together next weekend. So yeah, we'll have some pictures up on Instagram, Matt and Just TV.
Okay, so we're already on the discussion here of holidays and Christmas and traditions and all of this. So let's look at the NCIS creative team here and ask a very big question. Who made you guys into Ebenezer Scrooge? Okay, listen, we can give you a pass last season because of, the virus, everything going on. You may not have known your episode is going to air. That's fine. You have no excuse this time. You started filming kind of roughly on time. You knew when a lot of these episodes were going to air. I want a Christmas episode. I want tradition. I want chances to get to know people through the holidays because that always happens on a show like this.
Yeah, the last really memorable Christmas episode for me was the one with Gibbs and Sloan. They're outside by the car, giving a hug, kiss on the head. It's snowing. It was really Christmassy. But since then, I mean, yeah, we had the North Pole with Ziva, which wasn't really that Christmassy. I mean, the North Pole in the episode was like about a beam that was in like the actual place that they were that was like saving their lives. It wasn't actually about the North Pole, but no Christmas episode last year, nothing this year either.
Let's now give a very dirty look to a lot of these.
That's also your flirting look.
Listen, I don't have a lot of looks. And it doesn't help that I can't see without my glasses, so I don't know what my face is doing. But okay, that's dirty. Okay, there you go. There's a dirtier look here to certain publications, mostly the British tabloids, who have come out, and I saw this headline a couple weeks ago that they were like, NCIS breaks long-standing tradition and fans are furious, and they're talking about there not being a Christmas episode this year. Guys, they've done this before. Let's not sound the alarm anytime like one tiny minute thing comes out online about this show.
Yeah, there was no Christmas episode last year either, tabloids. Like, it's always so interesting about NCIS in particular that the tabloids love to run with stuff. Like, we've seen over the years that we've been covering the show, covering this show for like a decade or longer now, We have seen every single year the Mark Harmon is sick, Mark Harmon is leaving,
Yeah.
Mark Harmon this, Mark Harmon that, and it's always the same thing. I guess in hopes that one of these years they would be right, which is this year, but it was just, I don't really understand what the deal is. I know they're there trying to get clicks and trying to
Yeah.
get money, but the NCIS audience, we're not dumb. We know what you're doing. We
Yeah.
were all around for last year's no Christmas episode.
Yeah.
We all know that your title is a pile of BS.
Yeah. And so like this is really where it kind of circles back into this episode, episode 9 here, because I think that this episode, if we were just looking at it in a vacuum, and let's say, okay, this is an episode that aired in October or aired in like March, a kind of unimportant time for episodes to air. Like, on paper, I wouldn't have that many issues with it because like I was really interested in the hologram sort of interview stuff that was going on that was hyped leading into this episode. I thought it was an interesting idea that I haven't seen on like 800 other crime procedurals, and I was excited about that. But then you watch it, it's the holiday season, no Christmas stuff. Beyond all of that, like the episode is very open and shut, very by the book. It felt a little bit like a letdown with all of that in mind.
Yeah, especially since NCIS has really changed the past, like, I don't know, 4 or 5 years. Like, it's
Yeah.
gotten a lot different where we do get these standalone episodes that are the TV comfort food. You can jump in, jump out. It's all good. You don't have to have watched the episode before to be able to know what's going on. But typically, it feels like when you're getting to the premieres or the fall finales or the finales or anything like that, you're getting something that's a bit of a thicker arc, whether it's 2 episodes, 3 episodes, something like what we had at the beginning of this season, where we had, a couple episode arc that was leading up to Gibbs's departure. And now that we're past that and we have these 2 new team members, we actually haven't learned that much about Jessica at all. We've learned a little bit about Parker and sort of how he works. He's not a guy who's going to stay late if he doesn't have to.
Yeah.
He's a work-life balance guy, and it's been good to get to know him. We really still don't know anything about Jessica. They're dropping little things like, oh, I'm afraid of grasshoppers. It's like, okay, that's fine and fun or whatever. But like, where's the meat? Where's the stuff that makes me really attached to her? We got a little bit in this episode, like I said at the beginning of this video, about how her and her mom weren't really talking for a couple months, and she made the call at the end and was like, "Hi, Mom, it's me," kind of thing. And then that's it.
Yeah. It felt very much like this was an idea that they could have played out more and maybe given her 4 or 5 minutes and then maybe some sort of tease that like, oh, maybe her mother is coming into town and then we'll get to meet her on the next new episode or something to make it feel continuous. Or even if you don't do something about her mother, maybe there's some other sort of like threat from her past that's coming in that you can
Yeah.
sort of set up. Like, we talk a lot about the blacklist here at the channel, and we love doing the blacklist, but I'm not so much relating it to this season. But, in past seasons of the blacklist, we would have like a blacklister of the week storyline, and then there would be a few minutes of something that would be sort of setting up a bigger mid-season finale or something more a little bit down the line. Like, I think that structure is really great because it gives you the best of both worlds. And do you guys in CIS, do you need Raymond Reddington to come onto your show and tell you how this is done? Because bring me that format here, please.
No, if you're going to bring in new characters, you have to give us a chance to get to know them and care about them so that when they are out on the job and they are
Yeah.
in these dangerous situations that, our hearts start to get a little bit worried, even though we know they're going to be okay. We need to be more invested in them. And we are 9 episodes in, plus the small arc from last season with Jessica. I don't know anything about her except that she is afraid of grasshoppers. She likes a bento box. And then we've got this tiny bit about her not speaking to her mom for just like a couple of months. And that's all I really know about her. She's so closed off that even that scene with Torres in this episode
Yeah.
where he asks, "Hey, do you want to talk about it?" "No, I don't want to talk about it." missed opportunity. I understand she's closed off, but she can't be closed off to us, the audience.
Yeah.
We need to be invested in her.
And there were a couple of ways I think that they could have made that happen, and because it's already been established, and I'm not even trying to go down the shipper rabbit
Oh,
hole
yeah,
here
you
again, I
are.
promise, but okay, it was at least established that there is an emotional connection.
Yep.
Maybe it's a ship, maybe it's not, between her and Jimmy. I think it would have been a perfect opportunity to give us like a 2-minute scene with her and Jimmy. She's clearly the most comfortable talking to him, and we could have gotten a little bit more insight. It doesn't have to be romantic, it doesn't have to be anything else. Just give us a little bit of something more there.
Or continue on the friendship that's been growing since the last episode with Casey.
Yeah.
Casey and Jessica have a friendship now. We saw them at the range together. There's a friendship there. So why not build a little more of that? We don't get to see nearly enough of Casey, and she is a character that I also really like.
And what could we have gotten rid of to put these things in here? This may be a little bit of a hot take, but I don't need the bit of Torres being like, okay, I'm out, and he leaves the room, because he already did that a couple of episodes ago with McGee's mother-in-law, and it was like, okay, it was really funny then. Now you guys are just doing the same bit over and over again. You could have taken those couple of minutes out. And by the way, why was Torres there with Jessica Knight interviewing the hologram and not McGee? Like, this is McGee up McGee's alley. This is like nerd central here.
For sure. Or they could have taken out the bit at the beginning with this app that's like not working exactly the way that, Parker wanted to. He sort of forgot to send and send. And there were some stuff that they could have moved around or taken out to just flush out this story about Jessica not talking to her mom, because that's pretty serious. If she's not talking to her mom, like, what is going on there?
Yeah, and it could have been at least a little bit of a window into, why she is the way that she is. Like, why is she so closed off? Why does she have a hard time with it? Because it's a very hard character to sort of have on a show where we're trying to relate to people. Like, the whole essence of NCIS, and I think why it stands out versus a lot of other crime shows, is that you really like the people who are in a part of the team, and you feel like they could be sort of your friends in real life. And I love Katrina Law. Like, Katrina Law's great, and she can do a lot of different stuff. You just got to give it to her.
And the thing is this show has worked with characters that are closed off before,
Yeah.
like Torres. When he first came on the scene, he was very closed off. He'd been undercover a long time. He just wasn't opening up about himself. But they still found a way to let us get to know him fairly quickly, with still having this sort of, I'm closed off, but not really. Here's a little bit of something.
Yeah, like, this stuff I think could have made this episode just more memorable, because I did like the case of the week. As far as the case of the week goes, I think it was interesting. There were a couple different twists. It's not often we get to see a victim be interviewed after they're killed. Like, that was fine. Like, that stands out. It doesn't stand out as a last episode of the year to me.
No, and it's the second episode in a week that we've had where the killer ended up being someone that was like a friend, or someone who cared about the person, or something like that. Like, that part of it was sort of a rinse and repeat of last week.
Here's the good news, though. I know we're going on hiatus, but it's probably a pretty short hiatus. It looks like NCIS is coming back really early in the new year. I think we're probably going to get a couple of episodes, maybe a few, because they're probably going to just like kick the show to the curb during the Winter Olympics, and we're going to have like some annoying February hiatus because of it.
Yeah, probably. But, it coming back early is great. I mean, I wish we'd gotten just one more episode. It would have been all right.
Yeah.
We're all still around yet. We're not full Christmas holidays yet by next week, but we got what we got.
The main holiday gift I think NCIS gave us was that news from last week that Meredith Eaton is coming back.
Oh, I'm so excited about this. We love Meredith so much. She's just so fun. I cannot wait.
Yeah, I think that's going to be really fun. I know Brian Dietzen is co-writing that episode, so if I'm Brian Dietzen, I'm putting Jimmy in like every scene in
Right?
the episode. I'm giving him the most dramatic story arc of all time.
Yeah, no, that's gonna be really exciting. I can't wait for that.
All right, well let's hear from you guys a lot of this because I know that this episode wasn't really stuffed to the brim with content, but did you enjoy it? Do you wish there was a Christmas episode or do you just wish this had aired some other point in the year? Let us know and hit that like button, subscribe for more coverage. We will see you guys here next time.